Hello, I'm Captain Phoenix and welcome to my corner. Lately, a lot of YouTubers in the vinyl community has put up some videos with the 10 records that they play the most. I want to join that party as well, so in this video I'll present you with the 10 records that I spend most frequently here, tell you a little bit about why and what they are, of course, so I hope you'll hang on. I'll go through the records in a chronological order from when they were released. The first one we see here is Bill Evans' Sunday at the Village Vanguard with Scott LaFaro and Paul Motian on drums. Scott LaFaro was the bassist, of course. This record is a live recording. It's really, the three musicians really cling very well together. They leave space for each other, and so it's really a joy to listen to. This is a Japanese version I've got, but I've got the Riverside Recordings box from which came out some years ago. But this is the one that I spend most frequently. It's on 33 1/3 RPM. Compared to the others, which are 45 RPM, so the album is split on two records. So therefore, this one comes on most often. I think it's not only a very accessible and well, you can hear the music is great. The musicians' interplay is fantastic, and you can also hear that it's a live recording. There's some talking in the background. You can hear bottles and glasses, but it's not too much, but it's audible definitely. So this one is my favorite and most frequently played Bill Evans record here. From 61, as I said, and I'll suggest that if you're new to Bill Evans and want to join in on him, this could be the place to start as well. There'll not be many surprises, I think, in my little stack of records here, because the next one is, as you can see, the Beatles' Abbey Road. It's from 1969. It was the latest recorded, but not the latest released of the Beatles albums. Let It Be was later, but this one is at least in the top three of the Beatles albums. It's the most integrated. It's almost side two is almost like a suite. So I find it very pleasant to put on and to listen to, and therefore it really is played often here. There's not really a weak tune on this one, and it's so well produced. I do also have one of the later versions that came out where it's a little bit remixed, but this is my original copy. Not really original, but one that I bought in the early 70s when I started buying records. So Abbey Road is another one. And from a couple of years later, 1972, we have this Deep Purple Made in Japan. This is, like the first one, also a live album. I'm sure a lot of you know it. It's a 2 LP set. It's recorded in Japan and 3 different nights. And it's in the end or sometime into a kind of what turned out to be a world tour for Deep Purple, and in the constellation that I prefer and many people prefer the most, Deep Purple Mark II with Richie Blackmore and Ian Gillan in the front. So on all the 7 tunes here, you can hear that the interaction between the musicians is just fantastic. They have been on the road for a long time. This concerts should have been in April, but actually it was postponed to August because Richie Blackmore went ill, and so they had to postpone the Japanese concerts. And I think therefore they had more time to play and practice together. So this is really maybe my top live album of all times, 1972. And the year later, this one was released. It's Wings, Band on the Run, Paul McCartney and the Wings. This is maybe not the best Wings record. A lot of people prefer the Ram record, but to me, it's close. I think this wins. I bought it as one of the first albums I bought, and I was a scout at the time. I was like 14 years old. Brought it on the cassette tape on the 2 weeks Boys Scout camp, and we played it all the time. So therefore, like some of the others, it has been with me a long time, and it has kind of grown into me. There are only mainly 3 musicians here, Paul, Linda McCartney and Denny Lane. There should have been 5 when they left England to record it in, I forgot, Nigeria, maybe? Well, somewhere in Africa. But it ended up only being those 3 musicians, and so they play all of the instruments. There's been added a little sax, but it's really, I think there's not really a bad, weak tune here. Some are stronger than others, but it's really pleasant, and it's kind of all, not a sweet, but it hangs together. It returns to the Band on the Run theme after the very last song. Very, very pleasant album here. I would recommend it as all the others. 1973, and a year later we have this one, Frank Zappa and Mothers, Roxy and Elsewhere. This is like some of the others, also a live album. It's Frank Zappa with a lot of the good musicians he played with in the middle of the 70s, George Duke, for instance. It's rock, yeah, but it's also jazzy. There are trombones and there are saxophones and it's mainly a live recording. Some things have been added later, but it's really a good and very accessible Zappa recording. So I really enjoy this a lot. It's great musicianship, and it's great accessible tunes, and it has got some nerve as well. So this is really a good one. This is my original one from bought back in the mid 70s. There's been a release. These ones has been released. Almost all Zappa's recordings has been released and better produced and put better sounds on it. So you can really pick up. I mean, and Zappa was very concerned about how his music was recorded and how it sounded. So this is also a good sounding record. In 1978, we got the Dire Straits, the debut album, self-titled Dire Straits. It is to me is of course the one I play the most. It is. It's also, I think, for me, the best one. Maybe a little less sophisticated than the later ones, but I really like the basic. It's really a basic rock and roll band, or rock band, pop rock band, with great guitar playing by Mark Knopfler, but also it's more here in the beginning more of a group effort than I think it's turned out to be later. You can also hear that they were not. Everything is not perfect here. Listen to the start of Water of Love. They beat I don't know what it's called, but a piece of wood, and they beat it 4 times, and the 3rd time he does something wrong, so you can really hear there's a different sound. But they didn't change it, they didn't correct it. So it's a very honest album here, and it's a very great, of course, with the hit tune Sunsets of Swing, but a lot of other good stuffs. It's recorded very well. I do have the Mobile Fidelity 45 RPM version as well. So when I really want to impress myself or others, I put on that one. But it's nice to have it on just 2 record sides. So this is very often I play. And here comes the second jazz album, if you do not take Zappa for jazz. This is Stan Getz Quartet, the Dolphin. This is a live recording from 1973. You can see maybe it's a little worn, but I really like this a lot. It does not shock anybody. This is it's not music. It's not that slow or that bad, but it's really pleasant music. I used to play it on Sunday mornings when I have my breakfast. I do have a CD version as well, which I also play. This is a very nice recording. I know that Stan Getz is maybe not so you know, so not such a big profile as Coltrane or other sax players, but he's really a skilled musician, and his this one is just very great. Also, the interplay with the other musicians, Victor Lewis on drums, Monty Botwick on bass, and Lou Levy on piano. So this is really often spinning here. Maybe most often due to this Sunday morning thing here that I really like to have it with my Sunday morning breakfast. Yeah. And here we got from 1987, Prince, Sign of the Times. This is a 2 LP set. It's not a gatefold or anything in this version here. It's just 2 LPs. But what 2 LPs? It's the I think you could say it's the Sgt. Pepper of Prince. It's definitely Prince's best album here. A lot of hits. I really like it. I bought it back in '87 when I was just finishing my university degree, and it was on all the time on a CD at that time when I finished my big thesis with a friend at the university. So it really was part of a special period of time in my life. I often listen to it and I enjoy it every time. So it's really a great record. And then the last one is this one, George Michael, Older, and this is the 2 LP version, which was released I think last year. There's a lot of other stuff in here, but it's very nice. I made a video about this one a little earlier when it got out. This is to me the best album by George Michael. There are so many hits on it, and it's so detailed, so sophisticated, rhythmically, vocally, instrumental. I haven't had it on vinyl until when it was re-released here in 2022. It's from 1996, and as you know, the vinyl was almost dead in the late 90s. So I've had it on CD for many years, but I'm really glad to have it back on this format here, which is so nice. There's a lot of good graphics and pictures and things, so a lot to enjoy here. This is yeah, just a very great record. These were the 10 records that I play the most here. I think it's not far from. Out of 3,000 records, it's you know it's a little hard to pick only 10, but I think these are amongst the 10 that I play the most. I hope you might have found a little inspiration in these ones, and might want to try them out if you do not know some of these already. They very seldom get far away from the turntable here, so that could be the case for you maybe. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back next time. Bye-bye.